Now, here's what we've got facing us. The Secretary of Transportation, and again, I try to be temperate and steady and even-tempered, but this is a case where I'm going to say some things with the newspaper here that are for attribution, that need to be said. And I'm just going to lay it out as I see it. On March 23rd, we had a meeting in the Secretary's office. I was there. Jason Groth, who I've mentioned, was there. Mel Franklin from Prince George's County was there. He's a member of the county council and has been bird-dogging this with me for years. Mike Malinoff, the county administrator from Charles, was there, and a whole bunch of state employees. And we made our case, and we said, we have a chorus of unanimity from the elected officials of the two counties, Prince George's and Charles, that we want light rail transit. And we have had that unanimity on paper, in letters, for the last 10 years. And these are the reasons why we need to build LRT. And they're the reasons I've already gone through with you. And Pete Rawn, the Secretary of Transportation, basically brushed us aside. And he said, I'm recommending BRT. Now, there comes a time in public service, and I've been around a long time. I've worked with 4 governors, every elected official in Southern Maryland, state legislator, commissioner, you name it, for 38 years. And the only phrases that I could come up with to describe how I felt when a deliberative, thoughtful, fact-based analysis had been concluded and then brushed aside was depraved indifference. Depraved indifference. And blunt force trauma to the vision of this region. I've thought a lot about those words. But I don't have any choice but to say those words. Because there was a cavalier, careless attitude behind the action that we saw on March 23rd that can't go unchecked. Now, the consequences of this are enormous. We now have a report which you will look at when you have a chance. We have a report here that would be regarded as the platform for the next step. The launching pad, the springboard for the next step in this effort. We should be starting project planning on this project in the next Consolidated Transportation Program. We should be starting project planning and what we call the NEPA process, the National Environmental Policy Act process, on this alignment and this project in the next CTP. What will that cost? That would cost $9 million a year for the next 3 years. We have a $4.9 billion transportation program in the state of Maryland that is doing nothing for the people of Southern Maryland. Nothing. And I'll discard a few examples just to show you that it's nothing. The state has promised to build a new bridge across the Potomac River, which, by the way, won't be finished until the end of this governor's second term. That will be financed with state toll money. You don't finance that when you pay for your gasoline with the gas tax. That's financed by the tolls that are collected at the Maryland toll facilities. The other day, the lieutenant governor was in Indian Head and announced a grant for a project I care deeply about. I helped make the arrangements for the state grant that he announced, a $3.3 million grant to build a boardwalk on the Potomac River in Indian Head, which is desperately in need of revitalization. I applaud the state for that. However, that's not state money. That's the transportation alternatives money that's appropriated by Congress. You don't get on the scoreboard for that. You don't get on the scoreboard for the nice bridge replacement. We need a new bridge across the Patuxent River from St. Mary's to Calvert County to serve the biggest economic engine in Southern Maryland. There's nothing on the schedule to replace that bridge. Now, that bridge would be paid for out of our gas taxes, which we increased because the governor asked for support because we got that support. Now, here we stand. We need $9 million next year to start project planning on this transformational transit system for our people, so they don't have to struggle up that highway for the next 30 years in one of the worst commutes in America. And we can't squeeze $9 million out of the Secretary of Transportation to do that because of depraved indifference to our needs here. Pure and simple.